the question: should you run a half marathon without training? The answer? Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not. Well, actually, maybe. Yes, that's my final answer. Maybe. I say that after an experience that caught me a bit by surprise. Have you ever had that dream where you're suddenly back in school and have this big test that you haven't studied for? This was the real life version of that.
Wait, is that Corey?
And I'm like, Corey!
I was jumping into a big race after 4 months of not training. Bottom line, I needed a break, so I took one. But this race was still on my calendar, so here we go.
We was young, racing. Carefree was the best time. Fast forward, daydreaming about the next time. When it's gonna happen again.
I bet you'll have your best New York City half. Well, thanks for the confidence, Otto, but that's not exactly how it works. You don't get better by not training. But after the fact, I'm actually glad I didn't. So let me show you why. I'll start by setting the stage with the temperature. On a 30-degree morning in Brooklyn that felt more like 22 with the wind chill. Now, I didn't shoot this because it would have been pretty awkward, but right before the race, I made a pit stop at the Porta-John. I made another pit stop like maybe a mile or two into the race. Now, that shouldn't be important because you'd think that after those 2 stops, I'd be pretty much good to go, but not exactly. So leaving Brooklyn now, running over the picturesque Manhattan Bridge, just 5 miles into the race, and yep.
Hey, can anyone go back over here? All right.
Here comes pit stop number 3. Yeah, this is kind of awkward.
Excuse me.
You know, I've always known this about myself, but I don't think it was as clear to me as it was during this race. Just the rather embarrassing impact that cold weather can have on me. And it's not just me, it's actually pretty common. It's tied to your blood vessels and something called peripheral vasoconstriction, which is actually pretty interesting if you ever want to just look it up. But bottom line, it was very clear to me that this was not going to be some amazing race performance. With that said, it was still a really fun race, a great experience. Like seriously, just take some of this in. Is this not the most gorgeous city in the... Wait, hold on. Yeah, this was just one of those days. Now, usually in these videos where people run a race without training, the video is all about the suffering and the struggle. But that's not exactly what this race was about for me. If I had trained like crazy before this race, I could imagine just how bothered I would have been by all the pit stops and all the time I lost. The irony, in fact, is that I hit my PR last year doing the same race. And I remember feeling a bit bummed at the finish line. It was my fastest time ever, but I was still bummed that it wasn't as fast as I could have been. In this case, my time was a lot slower and certainly nothing to brag about, but I wasn't really expecting anything to brag about. Most importantly, I finished the race with a big smile on my face. So what's the lesson of all this? Aim lower. Actually, that sounds pretty terrible. Maybe don't do that.